What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Cultivation 3D Studio. In this episode, I'm just going to show you guys how I make the buckles. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, guys, so the first thing you're going to need is a trusty silver or white Sharpie and a buckle or a toggle latch is what you call it. So in this one, just make sure you get the correct size because you can end up looking something like this and get the wrong size like me. So do as I say and not as I do. Technically, you can still use a small one, but for this one, we're really not going to use it. So let's just go ahead and get rid of it. All right, guys. So while there are a bunch of types of clasps or toggle latches, I'm going to use this one here. It's spring loaded. The one I used for the Green Ranger is this one here. They're about 10 bucks for 10, so not a bad deal. But specifically, I'm not a fan of this one because there's a part in this latch here that is just a bit too small. So moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the longer one just because it is a bit more aesthetically pleasing, but this is the specific one that I used for the Green Ranger. But for this video, we're going to go ahead and toss this one, so we don't need it. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and just use two pieces of PLA that I printed out here. Now you are going to need some sort of Dremel and also a drill bit. This drill bit is a 1/8 drill bit and a riveter. You can get it here. Now, once you have everything you need, go ahead and use your Sharpie and mark where you're going to drill your holes at. Now, for the body of the toggle latch, you're going to want to mark the end of it just so you know where it's at, because trying to keep this thing open is probably the hardest thing to do with this. Just make sure that everything's lined up properly so you don't mess up. As you see how much I'm struggling just trying to keep this thing open, honestly, just make sure that you're holding it tight enough, because if you think you're holding it tight enough, you're probably not holding it tight enough. But anyways, after battling for about 10 seconds trying to make sure I'm holding it right, you're going to go ahead and mark both of the holes on there. Once you get both of the holes drawn onto your model, you can go ahead and set the body of the latch to the side. Now for this part, you are going to need a drill bit. I'm going to use the 1/8 drill bit because it fits the rivet that we're using. And you're going to need a Dremel. And in this case, for some reason, my Dremel was not working. I'm going to go ahead and use my drill. Now again, guys, please do as I say and not as I do. Make sure you have the proper PPE, especially if you're going to be using power tools. Anyways, once you have all those holes drilled into your model, we're going to go ahead and use the 1/8 and 1/2 rivet. Any other rivet is not going to fit, so just make sure you have that one specific. You can use a different one that is probably the same size, it just has a longer or a shorter stem. Now it's going to fit into the plastic just like that. Now after that, we are going to need the body of the toggle latch now. Just make sure you aren't battling it with it as much as I am. Now once you have a good hold on it, we're going to go ahead and apply our rivet, and it should hold in place just like this. And then we're going to go ahead and apply the other one. Just make sure that the tip of it goes inserted like this. It should look just like this. And the next thing you're going to need is a riveter. So your riveter or your rivet tool, whichever you want to call it, it's essentially going to push and pull at the same time, and it's going to snap that long piece off. So you're going to insert the tip right into that part right there, and it should look just like this. Now you're going to want to squeeze it a couple of times here. It's about 2 or 3 times. You can already tell from me squeezing it. It should snap the piece right off. So that long piece is going to pop right off like that. And essentially that's what's going to happen for all the other rivets. Now, after you're done with the one, I usually start with that one. I don't usually want to do the second one just yet, just because that last rivet, so these rivets are pretty permanent. You can't take them out. So I want to put the head of the clasp in next, fully all the way, just so I know it's in there. So this is how it's going to look. Both rivets are in there already. And let's go ahead and snap those in. Now, once both of those pieces are snapped in, it should look just like this. Next, you're going to want to Grab your riveter and make sure that the other piece that we left on the body of the toggle is snapped off, just like that. So pretty much we're done here. Let's go ahead and just line everything up and make sure everything works properly. This is exactly the method that I'm going to be using for all the Ranger helmets that I'm going to be working on in this series. I really appreciate you guys sticking around till the end of this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop a comment on here and I'll get back to you definitely on the next video. But yeah, see you guys in the next one. I will be working on the yellow one next, so stay tuned for that. Super excited.